I certainly think so. And in this matchup with these two teams, I am looking at the top lane. Now, people always talk about it as this island, not as much influence, but with these two players, I do think that they will be very important for how these two teams want to play the game. Ssumday has been a huge part of a lot of the 100 Thieves wins that they have been able to get on these more carry champions like Gangplank and Aatrox. Meanwhile, Hauntzer for Golden Guardians has been such a consistent and strong performer for them. Also with some champion overlap there, where he can steal away the Aatrox from Ssumday. However, Golden Guardians also have the option to put him on tanks like Ornn and carry through other lanes.
Yeah, just been a consistent performer, pretty much all split long. On the bottom side of the map, though, for Golden Guardians, they did struggle a bit yesterday, but we cannot forget their solid performances in week number 4.
Exactly. We are hoping to see them turn it back around today. It's definitely something where people are super excited. As soon as Key starts landing all these hooks, popping off, FBI is playing really aggressively, and you see this big wave of success for the Golden Guardians starting to climb up the standings. They did have a bit of a hiccup yesterday, but I think that the confidence is still there for this team. Look at that synergy as well. You know, Goldenglue on that play you just saw there, going back in to try and get the sacrifice for his life to suck in the opponents and group them up for the big AoE.
Yeah, on the other side of the matchup, of course, 100 Thieves, Ryoma, and Meteos have honestly just had a rough split so far.
True. I mean, 100 Thieves themselves, just as a whole team, are on a 4-game losing streak right now. Ryoma, Meteos, basically everybody on the list, save maybe for Ssumday. I think Ssumday individually is performing quite well. The rest of the team right now really needs to start to turn it around and make their way back up, because you're talking about momentum, and it's definitely sliding away for 100 Thieves at the moment.
Yeah, now that we're just past the halfway mark, or just starting it for a lot of these teams, certainly an important time to start picking up wins for Golden Guardians. I think they did start to pick up some of that momentum and have faltered. For the Thieves, like you mentioned, in a slide, so need to stop it right now and kind of get themselves back up towards the top as we kick off the draft. First ban is Xayah, getting that one out of there.
So I'm super curious to take a look at the bans, actually, because I think that 100 Thieves will need to ban Ornn on red side here, because like I was talking about, Golden Guardians I feel like are a bit more flexible with the players that they have on their team and would be able to first pick the Ornn and easily incorporate it and still have strong carry potential there. So Aphelios Ornn right off the bat, two of the strongest champions right now. It's not a big surprise, but looking at the matchup, I think these are good bans. And the answer from Golden Guardians also taking away that Aatrox. It's one of the two that I mentioned for Ssumday. I think the other one is Gangplank. I think Gangplank is one of these top lane champions that still gives you agency for the majority of the game. And when you do rely on a top laner to be a big part of your team fight and carry later, this is the perfect champion, because Ssumday can scale up, get big barrel chains for the team, and try and win it for them that way, with Aatrox off the table.
Yep, Set and Soraka, though, the last bans, which means a pretty quick first pick Yuumi on the Golden Guardian side. Basically the other healing support that gets played whenever you can. And again, Meteos is still stepping into his brand new role. Yuumi seems like a champion that's a bit more straightforward to pilot.
Yeah, and I really look forward to more kind of aggressive and unique combinations of carry or assassin champion plus Yuumi. Those are my favorite ones to watch. I'm not a huge Yuumi fan just of the champion in general, but when you pair it with something like LeBlanc or Rengar, like these assassin type champions, it becomes incredibly fun to watch. So we'll see if Golden Guardians do a more standard, all right, the Yuumi is going to be healing and shielding one of the standard carries, or if it's something more aggressive. I do think Olaf is one of those ones that can pair really well with it, because you get the added aggressiveness of a super long range slow to get them in range for your axe spam, but also Olaf can build Spirit Visage, which greatly benefits from the recent buffs that Yuumi got, where boosted the flat healing and some of the flat damage on her spells.
Yep, again, Yuumi Olaf has kind of been the thing that a lot of the Yuumis have been supporting, and with an Ezreal pick for FBI, going to be a lot more self-sufficient when it comes to the team fights.
Right, both of these are super good options for the Yuumi, because you can jump on the Ezreal, and especially for lane phase, super annoying to deal with. Everybody who's landing against it knows the difficulties of trying to dodge all the skill shots that come out from this lane. Plus, it remains a decently safe lane. Lots of times the counter into Yuumi is people trying to attack it. You get a Nautilus Misfortune, just like you're seeing here, and you try and dive it, you kill it, you build up a minion wave, you call your jungler, you get some early kills on it, but Ezreal is an AD carry that can actually help protect the Yuumi by virtue of the Arcane Shift and having more versatility in trying to defend under towers.
All right, well, already at phase 2, Syndra, the last pick in this phase for 100 Thieves, so very strong, safe blind pick made there for Ryoma, and J4 and LeBlanc. The next 2 bans here is 100 Thieves targeting Goldenglue just a little here in phase 2, and again, going to take the Orianna out as well.
Yeah, it looks like they actually want Goldenglue back on the Zoe. Zoe, to me, is the next of the blind pickable mids right now that pops up. And for Golden Guardians, if you're looking at this champ select overall, I am actually fine with the Zoe. Yes, Goldenglue had a couple of rough games on it, and he would look to reprove himself on it, but I have confidence that he can have a good performance. Zoe with Ezreal and Yuumi is a very, very disgusting poke composition. Then you would just need some form of disengage or some form of frontline in front of it, and they do have the final pick that they can throw towards Hauntzer to be able to round out the composition. If they want to index that heavily on poke, the option is here for them, and I encourage it.
Yep, well, there is the Gragas of 100 Thieves, so going to save counter pick for Ssumday, which makes sense given the highlighted importance of Hauntzer and Ssumday's matchup.
There she is.
So it makes the most sense. They're going to talk about maybe some other options or even just discussing the last pick here, but they'll run down the clock. They'll take the expected pick, which is the Zoe here for Goldenglue. And then one more pick here for Hauntzer, unless Olaf's getting really creative with his position there.
Yeah, so I kind of like that you open the door here because there are options for flexing. Olaf is definitely an aggressive, bully-oriented top lane. It is really rolling the dice as far as showing where you want to press, put your jungler and a lot of your pressure early. So they don't want to, do any of those shenanigans. And the Gangplank that I was talking about earlier does come back up. Gangplank also does provide some more defense versus teams that want to attack Yuumi lanes and dive Yuumi lanes, obviously because of the ultimate. But right now, Golden Guardians have a few areas that they will want to defend if there's a big minion wave built up, right? Because Gangplank is a similar one, and Lucian has just been picked.
All right.
Phase 3 time.
So, there's a bunch of different picks people like taking as the counters in the Gangplank. This is probably the most aggressive one you can take.
I really like it because we're just talking about Golden Guardians have multiple areas where early on they will think about defending possible areas of aggression, and 100 Thieves have doubled down on this. With the Lucian pick for Ssumday, who I think has been their best performing player individually for this entire split, he is now given the opportunity to try and punish Hauntzer as much as he possibly can, build up an early gold lead for the team, and then have 100 Thieves try and snowball this game, control your neutral objectives through there. The problem is that if you make a mistake here and the Gangplank gets some kills, get some money back into the game, it becomes very dangerous and really difficult for this 100 Thieves comp to win later. So we're going to have to keep our eyes on some of the early stages here.
I mean, we did hear from Zix yesterday talking about how he wanted the team to play more aggressively. This draft is certainly setting that up. 100 Thieves must play aggressively, I think, in order to win this game. Golden Guardians can lean on their poke, lean on their healing a little bit more. And just, again, if you can't get through the healing and the tankiness that is happening, you're going to get poked to death around every objective.
Also, when people mention scaling and timings in game, teams that over-index on damage and under-index on front lines and tankiness scale with skill as well. Because the best form of tankiness is dodging damage, flashing damage, making big plays. So if you have higher skill with a team that has lots of damage output but relative unsafety as far as frontline, you can considerably outplay. Take a look at what happens here, though, because this is actually an unnatural grouping at the bottom. 4 members looking for an invade. They want to go off this Nautilus possible CC, and they'll run to the defensive ward.
They spotted it. Nice ward, though, from Golden Guardians. Knew exactly what could happen there. Zix was always known for his level 1 preparation back on CLG. Clearly bringing that here to 100 Thieves as well. But, again, not much they really waste there by going in, sweeping a ward, and then just pulling out of the invade.
And one thing, whenever you go for level 1 invades, and especially once you know that your level 1 invade has been seen by the enemy team, you have to then play catch up. Because by revealing everybody bottom side, you have given up the other quadrants of the map. And as you can see, there's a little bit of trepidation on their side in re-entering this area of the map, 400 Thieves. Meteos cautiously gets in there. They poke around with the solo laners. And while there is a Golden Guardians ward there, they make a power move on the bottom side. Closer's coming in with Olaf, Yuumi, Ezreal, and that will easily be able to split the map for them.
Yep, looks like we'll go vertical here to start things off. That sweeper lasted just long enough for Closer to sweep out that wall with the help of FBI and Keith. So he's going to grab that blue. Meteos is already on the Raptors on the left side, and Stunt trying something early, looking for that hook, but does not find it.
Interesting that he only takes the blue here. Maybe he wants to go back and defend his blue quadrant now. Closer is what I'm talking about. Yeah, and he's making his way right over there now. Even though he was seen exiting on that ward, Olaf has such priority over Gragas in the early game that you can try and get this 3-buff start on him. It does cost you a lot of time traveling right now, in which he's not clearing camps. So Meteos can do a quick and efficient red side clear here, 3 camps plus red buff, get to his level 3 spike, while Closer will have a lot more to try and farm up later, but does need to spend time doing it.
Early grab there by Stunt, does find FBI, but heal there from Keith, who's now level 2 as well. Means that certainly Golden Guardian should be expected to be pushed in this lane, but it should be fairly safe from the all but the most aggressive of all-ins.
Miss Fortune gets a lot of power with the passive, obviously switching targets and trying to push the wave, go for harassment at the same time here. Ssumday has got the wave up into a little bit of an awkward state, especially since they know there is an Olaf jungle. That's why you see Ssumday right now very cautious with the movements, waiting for this wave to push back towards him. When it builds up like that in front of your tower, he knows that it's going to push back eventually, so all he has to do is not go for that aggressive Lucian trade at the front of your opponent's turret when you know they have an Olaf that has control here. And he's just waiting cautiously or CSing. Later on, we'll see him press more aggressively. When you have knowledge of the position of the enemy jungler, the Lucian can go in for these very good trades on Gangplank early and try to bully him out. Then you drop yourself after going for the trade into one of the brush to drop minion aggro, so your trade is even better. Meteos on the bottom side, go for it.
Flash root, good arcane shift out there for FBI. Gonna have to flash out of there probably. Does get out, but the rehook there from Stunt is good. And that will be first blood over just barely as Cody picks it up.
Olaf is on the way here, but nobody got low because they weren't really under the tower. Cody's son still has both summoners, so they should just be fine here. And Meteos is able to strike first here, which is one of the things I was kind of touching on, where the extra time investment from Closer is there for counter jungling and getting a 3-buff start. But it's time that the opponent does have options to create something. And like we set up in Champion Select, your Yuumi lane is definitely a point that can be attacked, especially with the Nautilus pick here. Stunt does a great job hooking them back in, and they get the first blood. This is exactly what this team comp from 100 Thieves needs.
So whatever happened here in top lane has gone quite well for Hauntzer, although Ssumday immediately trades back, but he was up a level briefly and was winning the health battle with no TPs or recalls happening. So Hauntzer clearly in control of this matchup, despite the fact that Lucian often gets a big edge in the early game.
Yep, Hauntzer, because like we kind of talked about with the whereabouts of the Olaf, is able to use jungle pressure. Let's take a look at this. Because this is what we're talking about. Meteos goes for this gank. Closer actually just hit that Scryer's Bloom, which did not see Meteos that was in the tri-brush. So that's twofold. Not only did it not see Meteos and give FBI and Keith maybe a slight false sense of confidence, but it also reveals that Closer is at that point where he procced it from. So then 100 Thieves and Meteos know that they have this timer, 15 seconds. Hey, let's get in, get out. We can make this kill happen.
Oh, double exhaust. Goldenglue found another one. This came out of a balloon. As Ryoma is going to be forced to flash as a result.
Go to sleep.
And there's the follow-up Q. Ryoma popping the cleanse as well. I believe he got slept there.
Yep. Lands the bubble. That is double summoner spells and 80% of the health off of Ryoma. Trying to chug his potion and heal back up right now so he does not have to back. This cannon minion goes down. He's able to secure it. So thankfully for him, doesn't lose out on a lot of the golden experience from that gank, but is going to lose out on mid priority here, even with the health potion ticking. Goldenglue is able to push the entire wave in.
Ooh, nice from FBI. Arcane shifts just left of the hook that Stunt was bringing in, and this actually, again, has kind of continued to give them room, although Meteos trying to gank once more. Here a little early, perhaps FBI back with keys on top of him, but he's little low. He's going to get ignited and taken down by Cody as Meteos will finally fall. Goldenglue able to roam down and get the kill closer. Living with the heals. Again, it's the Olaf with the Yumi. That's the real carry. That's 3 kills for Golden Guardians.
Big move here. Golden Guardians pulling vastly ahead in the gold. And what did we just go over, Pastry Time? Mid priority. Top lane is dead.
Solo kill though for Ssumday. Didn't even need all the culling bullets and just gets the 1v1 win.
What did he need, Pastry Time? He needed to know where Olaf was. And then the Lucian can unleash. He's gotten the purchase back. He even went for a Doran's Blade purchase on top of his sword. So here's what we're talking about. Look at the minimap. Mid lane priority. Because of what we just talked about, gank mid, it is a Zoe that will come roaming down the river. So even though 100 Thieves would have won this, because there is a Gangplank ultimate and because there is a Zoe coming down the river, the setup of getting mid priority first before going for neutral objective fights over there does go their way. However, after the reset, Pastry Time, Cloud Drake is going to be the prize of 100 Thieves.
Yeah, Golden Guardians not feeling maybe healthy enough after that fight to take the Drake, so instead they invaded and took the blue again, which is nice. That will help Goldenglue out in the lane and continue to give Closer a lead in the jungle, but the bigger prize does go over to 100 Thieves. And we talked about Hauntzer doing well in the matchup, keeping things even. As you mentioned, as soon as Ssumday has the info, that's gone. So erase what we just said. It's 15 CS ahead now for Ssumday.
Right, you got to look at the map of Summoner's Rift for games like this as a set number of resources for each team. When the Olaf shows bottom, plus Hauntzer used his ultimate bottom, Ssumday knows, all right, there is no way this Gangplank is going to withstand my all-in. He had just gone back. He had an extra Doran's Blade. He had the extra longsword. And Ssumday does make the Golden Guardians pay for it. So there's a little bit of give and take on both sides of the map as we jump back. Rift Herald is also part of that in exchange for the Cloud Drake. Closer on the top side of the map is able to make this convert into some gold. On top of getting the gold for killing your Rift Herald, it is very easy to cash in the first one for pretty much guaranteed turret plate money. We'll see where they actually choose to do that.
I think a nice illustration though of, you know what, if you're at home playing solo queue, wondering why isn't your jungler there? That's why. He can only be in so many places at once.
Thank you, Pastry Time. Until we come up with a champion, that could be in multiple places as well. Okay.
It's happening again. Hauntzer does have his splash and will be forced to use it. Ssumday starting to really leverage that 1v1 edge. He's up 20 CS plus that solo kill. 2 Dorans and a Bilgewater. Hauntzer not having a good time.
Yep, and now he's going to get forced off the turret. Even though he gets the ultimate down, a turret plate earned here by Ssumday forces him all the way back there. All right.
Staying as well.
Let's look at where they can attack next then, because you always need to be aware of your weak side, but also where you are strong. And if you see the invade occurring at the moment, Closer is very deep in the 100 Thieves jungle because once again, Zoe pushed up the mid lane and can join him. So Closer chases Meteos out of his own jungle. Olaf has the level lead here, and they're able to leave behind a decent amount of vision as well. Let's see if they can return, or if maybe he left one small wolf behind because it has popped back up.
Perhaps continued attention towards this mid and bottom section of the map for Golden Guardians. Goldenglue continuing to push in here in mid. In fact, Herald will be dropped by Closer. They're just wanting to collect the plate money right now. They had a bit more time to maybe set this up, but decided that this is good enough as here comes Meteos. Flash looking for the cask and does not connect.
Needs a little bit more girth on that belly, or a little bit closer with the flash. Isn't quite able to close the range onto Goldenglue. And there's a small window there as the charge is going through, so 100 Thieves swing and a miss trying to counter that there. One thing I will say, and why I was talking about the Rift Herald basically being that guaranteed gold now, one of the best feel-good changes they made last patch has been that you can drop it as a jungler and you can walk a decently long range away and still get the gold now. No longer do you have to kind of force yourself or your teammate into standing basically at the edge of the charge, waiting for the cash to come out. They have greatly increased the grace distance to be able to stay in range and cash in on that objective. Bottom side, Heath and FBI doing their part to earn turret plates as well.
Ooh, great bubble there by Goldenglue. Follow-up is there. Meteos getting chunked down almost to the end of his life. Goldenglue, what a portal jump! Takes him down over the wall.
Counter invade goes awry. Meteos is trying to work off of Ssumday's pressure there once again, and yet mid Goldenglue here. He's roaming to both sides of the map. A lot needs to be said for this guy. In Champ Select, I was looking for him to have a Redemption Zoe game. Well, that's not literally picking up redemptions. That is performing like this. 3 kills now for him, roaming to a lot of these jungle invades, supporting Closer, defending Closer's camps, as well as getting a lot of these neutral objective setups for the team. And here, you call it out. Portal jumps along with the blast cone jump of Meteos. He's able to get the extra damage as he's flying over in the air. And Goldenglue will be very happy with the performance this time around. That being said, 100 Thieves, they still do have options moving forward if they continue to focus on dragon stacking here. 20 seconds left on Mountain Drake, Pastry Time. I think that this does need to rise to the top of their list, as Golden Guardians are feeling quite well, actually, about how the trades have been going.
Yeah, decent so far, 600 gold ahead. Cannot forget Ssumday's lead. He's just finished his play to the Ruined King, which is kind of matching Goldenglue's early looters. Meteos still trying to make the play. Here comes the Yuumi ulti though, and Goldenglue does get a kill. But Closer will fall down, so contesting for this Drake a little bit trickier. Ssumday wreaking havoc though as he TPs straight into the middle of the fight and almost gets a second kill for 100 Thieves.
Big decision point is going to be, does this trade and teleport commitment deter them from actually getting the dragon? If 100 Thieves can still get this dragon, then they still have their hope alive. Otherwise, right now, the free money that Hauntzer just got, pushing this minion wave into the tower, is going to go a long way. All right, 100 Thieves still happy. They still get the dragon.
Yeah, looks like Hauntzer actually just recalled there, so Golden Guardians deciding after that fight, got the TP, will have to give the Drake over. So it will be an Ocean Rift this time around. And 2 Drakes for 100 Thieves already halfway towards that soul. Keeping that gold still pretty even. Again, Golden Guardians keeping it healthy with the plates and the kills that they have gotten. But 100 Thieves are feeling just fine about how this is all going out. I think, again, moving towards that 3rd and 4th Drake, you know, how aggressive can 100 Thieves be with the team that we said in Champs like has to be aggressive? Will be interesting to watch, especially because we're kind of devolving into a battle of who can carry harder, Goldenglue Zoe or Ssumday's Lucian.
And honestly, with the amount of damage around here, if you're able to have vision set up for these teams, you can easily burst someone down. So that is going to go a long way as far as the outplays. Here we go.
Another fight starting here again. Ragnarok popped by the Olaf already. Ulti out from Ezreal. Olaf has to get out. Flashes over the wall to safety. Stunt low, but does not fall. FBI in there.
Ooh.
Arcane shifts in for the snipe and finds it. Goldenglue gets stunned over the wall, but safe on the other side with the portal jump. Golden Guardian still being aggressive here.
All right, let's see what they can do with this mid priority, because Yumi's been able to heal Olaf back up.
Over the wall to safety goes Meteos. But Rift Herald number 2 going to be on the menu now for Golden Guardians.
And why we're talking about possible worries for 100 Thieves is that when you have this much poke on a team, Zoe, Ezreal, Yuumi, it becomes so hard to deal with if that team gets control of these neutral objectives. If the vision starts to sprout up in favor of Golden Guardians, then it has to be a very quick play from flash engages from Gragas or hard engages from Stunt. Otherwise, this kind of tankless team is going to have such a difficulty dealing with the poke damage. So here they go, hard engage.
Stunt in again, close to the target, will fall down. Keith needs to reattach, needs to find some friends, cannot get CC'd forever by the Nautilus, as that's 2 quick ones for 100 Thieves.
Hard engage, hard engage. 100 Thieves have to make that work. They get the flank there, Stunt comes in, they get some kills for themselves. In the meantime, though, Golden Guardians, they still have Hauntzer. Level 11 now on Gangplank, pushing away on that bottom turret.
Well, Ssumday did know where Zoe was, so Goldenglue not able to find the snipe just yet. As a reminder, 5S CLG is our next game, but we still have ways to go in this one, with the Golden Guardians being up still 1,000 gold, but taking mid tower is also nice. still fairly contentious between the two sides. Goldenglue deciding that he will moonlight as a top laner, if only briefly as a watch this again. Like you said, Kobe, you have to go in if you're 100 Thieves.
Right. Hard engage versus poke. A tale as old as time. Well done here to get the flank for 100 Thieves. Stunt walks in. He's also able to lock down the Yuumi. You can tell FBI wanted to get in place for a jump there from Keith, but since Keith gets double rooted there, FBI very scared about following that up with a death of his own. Doesn't walk up. Now, with the Ocean Rift as well, 100 Thieves trying to put a lot of priority, laying all the vision set up down here for the possible Drake play. A minute and a half away.
Slowly Yuumi, face checks, can't see, and that's an instant deletion for Ryoma. Ssumday also onto FBI in the mid lane. Who's the better marksman today? It will be Ssumday! Flushes under the tower to get a solo kill.
Really, really good and necessary plays here from 100 Thieves. The vision work that they just laid pays off. They find Keith walking through their own jungle, even though they've already set up the possible picks here. So 100 Thieves, they get the solo kill from Ssumday. They get the pick in the jungle and will be rewarded with the turret, all before the dragon even comes up. Pastry time. This is a very good timeline for them.
Yeah, Goldenglue, he was top lane. He did at least get a tower for Golden Guardians, but was not able to participate in any sort of fight that was happening. So it looks like Golden Guardians know they have to reset. I think they're at the point where, okay, we must fight for this next Drake. So they'll back off. They'll make sure they're out on the map in time. We have the Triforce already finished for Hauntzer. Goldenglue continuing to build up strength of his own. And FBI is still a little whiles away from his Triforce, but does already have the Manamune, so isn't too bad.
Great toggle here from the observers. Just shows how scary it is for the Golden Guardians because of the prep work that 100 Thieves have laid for this dragon. They're going for Hauntzer to see if Meteos can get the ball.
Oh, ignite down. Easy CC chain. Hauntzer just can't orange out of everything. Trades decent damage back. Golden Guardians need to spring the trap quickly, but Ryoma and Cody around the corner. Closer low again. This is damage Olaf. So is not particularly good at weathering any sort of damage, and Ssumday is busy split pushing on the top side, so Golden Guardians not getting much out of this at all.
Yep, continued pressure, 400 Thieves playing to their composition. They do get the dragon here, pastry time, setting them up for soul points and the extra insane regeneration that can actually give them outs versus a heavy poke composition. Now, if Lucian or Syndra or MF is the recipient of one of those long-range Zoe Q big explosion pokes later in the game, what you do is you back off, you go damage a minion or a jungle monster or something. You can regenerate if you get that Ocean Soul very easily, and it takes away a decent amount of the power here from the Golden Guardians.
I mean, not to mention that the hallmarks of one of Golden Guardians of this comp is this Yuumi and the Olaf specifically, who would be amazing with the Ocean Soul. So Golden Guardian's gonna have to fight a lot to keep that out of 100 Thieves' hands. So far so good with Ssumday, 3-0-0, continuing to be a star here for 100 Thieves. Whether split pushing or solo killing, he is doing what this pick demands of him. If you're going to give the counter pick top lane illusion, this better happen. And it is, which is good if you're a 100 Thieves fan.
Yep. Ssumday definitely one that they can count on. He's definitely had quite a few strong performances for the squad, and it's going to be a big part if they can turn this around. Goldenglue and the rest of the Guardians trying to flank around, though. You see them invading on the red side here for 100 Thieves, and should easily be able to take this away. Cody's son should be well aware, though, and back off from the turret. I don't think MF will be the victim of a dive or anything.
Yeah, a lot more space in the central part of the map for Golden Guardians right now. Good chunk there on the Cody, but can't connect the bubble for any potential follow-up. The FBI will actually TP back to mid lane with his Triforce now finished, so he's also decently strong.
And Ssumday, relentless with the pressure here on this Lucian. Setting up in Champ Select, yes. If the Lucian makes a mistake, if the Gangplank gets money back in the coffers, if you can get some kills on it, then it becomes difficult, but he's doing everything in his power right now. Big 2-item power spike. Meteos comes for the dive.
Might as well play to this lane. Good combo there. Onto Hauntzer. Flash out. GP trying to stay alive for a little longer. Culling is down. Hauntzer dancing around the ultis. Meteos in there. Gets the flash body slam and slaps him down as Ryoma answers back on a closer. Keith will be felled as well. And Golden Guardians can't find success on either side of the map.
Big plays once again for 100 Thieves. Rarely do you see a team go for a 2v1 on one side of the map and also win the weak side play there. We'll have to see how the setup occurred, but it's probably one of those long-range stuns that they're able to catch Golden Guardians unawares with. And this is really, really going and accelerating in the favor of 100 Thieves. Exactly what they want with this team composition. Dragon Soul will be coming up. Let's see how it actually started. Closer walks away from the MF ultimate, but let me see, does he have Ragnarok at the time? Okay, he does. He takes 50% of his life, and then Ryoma just flashes in to finish it off. He was counting on the healing from Yuumi. All right, I don't want to blow my cooldowns here. We'll just heal right back up. But Ryoma doesn't give him time, and that's key with this setup for 100 Thieves. They're not giving Golden Guardians the time that they need, keeping up that pressure. And let's see if they actually catch Goldenglue here as they flood down bottom.
Again, not a tanky Olaf at all. So a very easy kill, especially for Ryoma at this point of the game at 3-0-3. Goldenglue in a 1v3, about to give over his first death of the game. Maybe Banshee's going to keep him alive, but the portal jump not enough to get him out of there. And Meteos with the party cast does get the kill at the end. I like that. A very stylish finish.
Yep, and key thing is they don't use all their resources bottom, right? You see a flood of red members going down here, but guess what? Ssumday's still at work. Lucian, side lane, always pressing ahead, creating pressure for the team, and the Golden Guardians don't have time to breathe.
Yeah, I think he wedged the B button out of his keyboard this game. He has not left the map all that long. Ssumday takes yet another tower. 4-2 now in turrets for 100 Thieves, up 4,000 gold, and a Drake up in 50 seconds that Golden Guardians must get to stay alive in this game.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching these types of games where the proactive team is rewarded for trying to create their pressure like this and doesn't relent, because it sets up so many more of these tense situations. Hook lands.
Stunt again, really on point with these hooks. Does get credit for the kill on FBI, who had nowhere to go despite having shift and flash.
Yeah, I don't think we give him a get out of jail free on that one.
Nope.
You gotta get out of there. There's no way that it's acceptable to straight die right there with all the outs. But 100 Thieves make the play. Credit to Stunt then.
Yeah, actually 10 out of 14 kill participations for Stunt this go around. Golden Guardians, as we mentioned, no, they have to fight, but Stunt again going to start things off. Ragnarok up. Front line here for the Nautilus. Goldenglue trying to find a squishy target behind the front line. GP ult down as well, but Stunt barely losing half his health. Golden Guardians, though, just trying to buy time. They're looking for Meteos. They don't quite find him. Now we'll go in there, but again, closing up that tanky. Moved back into the team by Meteos' cast. And Ryoma gets the kill. Keith will be the sacrificial cat for Ssumday. And Golden Guardians is falling further and further behind. That will be the Ocean Soul over to the Thieves as well.
Once again, they establish vision around the objective. They get the pick early. Then they continue to look for their options. Stunt's Nautilus lands hook after hook after hook. 400 Thieves. And now, with the Ocean Soul at their back, 100 Thieves poised to end their losing streak. Here's another look at the second engagement. And this was WoW, FBI, running back here. See the pings down onto the Dragon. Stunt gets chased out of that bush, and they try and continue to chase, but once his shield is back up, they go for it. Meteos with a really good cast there. Cody's son with a bit of a party ultimate, as you called it. A couple of ticks on the edge did get some damage there at least. In the end, they grab the objective, and 100 Thieves can now move everything over to the other half of the map, setting up for the Baron, which gives them that pushing power to end.
To their credit, there is a lot to celebrate this game for 100 Thieves, and they're just taking all the territory away from Golden Guardians, who struggling to try and contest for a lot of these objectives. 100 Thieves know that they don't need to race ahead in this game. They've got full control of the river. The Golden Guardian's going to have to find somebody making a mistake. Meteos, though, about to engage once again. The Banshees pops up. Meteos doesn't get chunked down. And it's not enough from the True Shot Barrage. And Ocean Soul again going to undo all that work very quickly.
Yep. He's got to go find something to touch and then heal right back up. Now, the more difficult part of this game is to look at it from Golden Guardian's perspective. Oh, never mind.
Yep, good ult combo there from the Nautilus and the MF. Close to living a little longer than they may have expected, but Cody's not able to finish it off. Stunt not dead, but does go low.
You can start to see some of the ideas, though. Again, you have to still rely on your strength in poke damage and throwing these Zoe bubbles to catch people. During this time, though, keep your eyes on the mini-map, because even though this 100-Thieves 4-person squad gets chunked out, Ssumday is pressuring still, and now he's already at the inhibitor turret.
If there's one thing Ezreal and Zoe are good, it is playing around objectives, as we can see. 100 Thieves can't start this Baron without getting harassed by Golden Guardians, but again, Ssumday is putting the necessary work in the side lane. He just straight breaks an inhibitor turret on his own.
Exactly. 100 Thieves don't have to win the 4-person split of the map, because Ssumday guaranteed wins the 1v1 split portion of the map. As long as they can guarantee him that matchup, be able to take down yet another turret, still keep the pressure applied on the opposite side of the map from Baron. Sleep does land on the Stunt.
Again, Ocean Soul going to keep it pretty healthy. Goldenglue, that was a bonus flash. Did look for a little bit of extra damage, perhaps on Ryoma. The Hauntzer can't keep this up forever. Golden Guardians probably have to try and find the 4v4 quickly, but 100 Thieves not really giving them a look at it. No need to rush here if you're 100 Thieves. Just let Ssumday do the work. Wait for Golden Guardians to slip up around the objective. You have the Ocean Soul. You can be patient here.
Yep. Golden Guardians don't have, great hard engage on their side, right? You mentioned already, Olaf behind, building Warrior Cleaver damage build, even with a Yuumi on him, is not scary enough. It's not a great hard engage, and Hauntzer has to just stand there and watch as Ssumday will take what is his.
And Meteos, again, doing the right thing, just shadowing his mid lane. Here's the flankaroonie. Meteos there finds the ulti. Goldenglue, they're knocked up by the Nautilus Ult at the same time. Needs it. That chain didn't quite connect the way they wanted. Hook almost takes down Goldenglue, but maybe the main event is happening in the bottom left of your screen as Ssumday is just solo winning the game on Lucian.
Got him! Ssumday here with the Ocean Soul. No one is going to be able to take him down. He's inside the base with Hauntzer just kind of staring at him from the corner. Can't put a dent in him any longer. There's too much lifesteal, too much regeneration. There's no point even for Hauntzer trying to trade with the Lucian. Hauntzer's eyeballs are on the minions. Whoa, Meteos!
Needs a little bit more. Smite for a bit of extra health. Closer in there trying to close it, but doesn't get it done from the True Shot Barrage. And again, if you don't kill this Gragas with the Ocean Soul, it's going to get real healthy real quickly. So Golden Guardians just seemingly cannot catch a break this game. 100 Thieves have played exceptionally well with the comp that was given to them.
Definitely.
Ssumday still hasn't left bottom lane, by the way. He's never leaving till the game ends.
It's very funny too, because whenever we talk to the players casually, just outside, and ask them, how things have been going, matching up 100 Thieves, how they think about this, they're like, yeah, I mean, in scrims, it's just, is Ssumday going to carry the whole game? Is he going to pop off for this team? I think that in this game, the other members also deserve credit. As much as the spotlight should be on Ssumday, and he's performed so great in a matchup and a pick where you have to keep up the pressure and you don't want to make any mistakes lest your opponents get back into it and start to scale up. I think that there also deserves a lot of credit here for especially Meteos and Stunt setting up a lot of these plays, forcing that, keeping the game pace rolling forward so they can actually stack up the neutral objectives. And here we go once again.
Closer again with the Yuumi attached. He's going to pop the Ragnarok. Then it's running to the backline. They have to kill somebody. Stunt finally maybe going to go down. There's the shutdown, but Ssumday, of course, he's still in the bottom left of your screen. Hauntzer, get out of there. It's not safe. Ssumday takes him down. Another 1v1, his third of the game. FBI, ill-advised also, but the rest of the team is coming in to save the Nexus.
Spacey time, as soon as you think Golden Guardians, all right, they got something, they got a kill on the Stunt, the bat signal goes up. Ssumday, please, solo kill someone on the other side, and he does it again.
Closer is also going to get felled by Ryoma. Meteos chasing on the Goldenglue. He will die as well. As Ryoma flashes in, perhaps unnecessarily, as FBI is getting chased out of his own base by the rest of 100 Thieves and Kid. Yuumi 1v3, never a winning matchup. And there's the ace for Gragas. Meteos will finish it off, and 100 Thieves will finish off the game as Ssumday rampages to every single lane to give 100 Thieves their first win in 5 games.
Who said North America doesn't play side lanes? Pastry time, because Ssumday heard you were talking smack.
5-0-2 with 700 additional gold by the end of it. finally had to leave a side lane to go buy the rapid fire cannon outright. Played every step of that game perfectly, it felt like.
Yeah.
Even the early game where he was playing with respect to close Olaf, giving Hauntzer the ability to trade with him aggressively in lane. And as you said it, Kobe, as soon as he sees the Olaf, go time.
Really glad to see Ssumday back on stage in the LCS once again. Dominating performance from him. Really good setup again. Stunt finding so many hooks for the team. Meteos with so many body slams for Gragas, pushing the game ahead for 100 Thieves. And they put an end to their loss streak.
Certainly do. And with that, when we return, Riv has an interview with one of the winners from that previous game. It's going to be Cody's son. Stay tuned.